This makes no sense. Is there any way you could help me?
Of course I can help. Here's a video of our ovarian cycle, and it should be very informative and help you.
Everyone is always focused on what happens to a woman's body while she is menstruating. However, no one talks about what is happening while she is not menstruating. There is actually an entirely separate cycle that happens in the female reproductive system. It's actually called the ovarian cycle, which occurs in the ovaries at the same time as the uterine cycle. It consists of the follicular development, ovulation, and the formation and degradation of the corpus luteum, dependent on pregnancy. So, let's start with the follicular phase. This is where the growth of follicles happens because of the increase of the hormone FSH, which actually stands for follicle stimulating hormone. The follicles will grow into primary, secondary, and finally tertiary follicles. This is all happening in metaphase 1, by the way, up until ovulation occurs. The follicles get larger and larger with each phase of growth. Now, each month, one follicle will outgrow the rest, which will lead to the mature follicle. This follicle will complete meiosis 1 and enter meiosis 2, and this will lead to the mature follicle to ovulate. This phase of the cycle lasts around 10 to 14 days. Now let's begin with the next phase, ovulation. Ovulation occurs around day 14 of the uterine cycle and marks the moment at which a follicle completes meiosis 1 and ruptures from the ovary as an ovum that is covered by a protective layer called the corona radiata. This ovum will enter the fallopian tubes and begin its journey to the uterus, fertilized or not. During this phase, there is a large surge in FSH and LH, which stands for luteinizing hormone, in which ovulation will occur about 9 hours after the LH peak. The final phase of the ovarian cycle is called the luteal phase. In this phase, LH transforms the ruptured follicle into the endocrine structure known as the corpus luteum. This will provide the body adequate progesterone to carry on a conceived pregnancy. However, if pregnancy does not occur, then the corpus luteum fade into the corpus albicans, and eventually the ovary will heal itself and the cycle will begin again. Now, what about birth control? Well, birth control maintains a constant hormone level, so there will be no peak that will spur on ovulation. Therefore, there is no egg released and no egg will be fertilized. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the ovarian cycle. And now hopefully you understand the difference between the ovarian cycle and the menstrual cycle.